All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to ACABOR meeting of October the 1st. Let's quickly do the pledge. We don't have a flag this evening. Our flag bearer is absent. So I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United
States of America,
and one nation under God, indivisible.
with liberty and justice for all.
All right, for the board members that are here, we'll do a quick roll call. Chris Dunnigan is here. Sharon Burke.
Here.
Bill Malillo.
Here.
Brian Atchison.
Here.
And everybody else is absent at the moment. All right, welcome everybody. A few ground rules. We will mute everybody as we go through things. We will unmute people so the applicants can speak and provide, information on their projects. Then we will go through and the board members will each, ask questions, get clarifications as needed. We'll then open it up for public comment. And if there's anybody wishing to speak, they're certainly welcome to. If you want to speak during public comment, please clearly state your name and your address so it can be recorded for the record. And thank you everybody for coming out. Appreciate it. First for tonight is amendments. Do we have Alyssa there? She is.
Hi.
Tell us a little bit about the project and why you're here this evening.
All right, so I'm here for an amendment to a previously approved project. So we are first looking to move the air conditioning unit from the rear left corner of the building of the house to the left side of the house. The unit's basically moving like 12 to 13 feet from where it was originally proposed. The unit will be about 80 to 100 feet from the neighbor's house, which is no change really, because it's just coming around that corner. Landscaping is going to remain the same. So we had originally said boxwoods. We have a vinyl fence going around the backyard, so that will still contain the AC unit. And there's actually an extra barrier going to be there. There's a big tree that's actually like right in front of where we want to put the AC unit now. So that's the first one. Should I go over both?
Yes, please.
Yeah, okay. And then the second one is for a pressure treated wood deck. So original plans, there was a paver scoop, but we had said last time that there was going to be no pavers, so it's just basically a clarification. The building inspector already approved the footings, and he approved the framing of the deck. So we were just coming back to make everybody aware.
Okay, so what you've got here are two changes. One is the moving of the AC from the back corner to the side, and the other is the porch, which was previously pavers and now will be pressure treated deck. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. And will the deck be painted, stained, or anything, or will it be?
It'll be stained. It'll be stained. Well, not in the beginning, I guess. Oh, we can't stain it for a year, so it'll be stained when we are done with it.
Okay. All right. I'll open it up to the board for any questions. Sharon, any questions from you?
No, no questions. Thank you.
Joe, any questions?
The deck is going to be the same size as the patio was originally?
Yes, I believe so. 9/11.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit bigger. I
Yeah,
don't
maybe maybe less than a foot.
Okay.
like less than, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Brian, any questions? Brian? You're on mute.
No, I don't have any questions.
All right, thank you. Debbie, I believe you joined caller 3. Are you there?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Any questions for the applicant?
No question.
All right. Okay, we'll open up to public comment. I will unmute the group. Is there anybody wishing to speak on this application? Hearing none, seeing none, public portion is closed. All right, so no public comments, no comments from the board. Do we have a motion to approve as presented?
I'll make that motion.
And I will second. We will do a quick roll call vote. Myself, yes. Sharon,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Debbie. Debbie, you're on mute. No, hold on. Debbie?
Yes.
Thank you. All right. So thank you for coming out. You're all set. Good luck with the deck and the AC.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
You're welcome. Next up, where is my list? Ooh. There we go. Next up is the Chestnut Market pylon sign. I believe Leah Squire is here.
Hi guys, how are you?
There you go. All right, tell us a little bit about the project, please.
Okay, my name is Leah. I'm I'm representing, I'm from Glory Neon Signs, representing Chestnut Market, located at 75 Dutch Hill. And this is a request for a sign permit. It's going to be the pylon sign permit for Chestnut Market. It just seeks approval for the replacement of new cabinets on both sides of this existing pylon. The overall height stays the same as the existing height.
Okay, so the sign is not changing in height or width. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the logo for the Chestnut Market that's displayed on the picture here matches the logo that is on the building that is there as well.
The cabinet is going to be a little bit bigger.
I mean, in general, it looks the same. It's the same squirrel with the nuts, greens, and black, correct?
Oh yes, correct. Yes, it will match exactly. It's a trademark logo.
Got it. Okay. All right. Let's just open this up for questions to the board. Sharon, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
Joe, any questions?
No, thank you.
Brian, any questions?
No.
And Debbie, any questions?
No questions.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this matter? Hearing none, seeing none, public portion is closed. We have a motion to accept as presented.
I'll make
I'll
that
make the
motion.
motion to accept as presented.
Joe made the motion. Do we have a second, Brian?
I'll second.
All right, roll call vote. Myself, yes. Sharon,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Debbie.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Leah, you're all set. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right. Up next, we've got the Orangetown Quick Shop facade sign. And Frank Tucci.
Yes, good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Tell us a little bit about the project, please.
I'm thinking to make it look good, so I'm gonna put some stone on the bottom half and it's gonna be gray and black stone, and the siding is gonna be light gray with a silver roof, silver gray roof, silver.
Do you have any samples of what the materials are and what they look like?
Actually, I sent the sample to Mrs. Cooper,
Yeah.
Cheryl, by
Wow.
email. I email it to her.
Mm.
Okay.
No, I don't believe I received anything.
Well, it's in the cell phone. This cell phone, I'm using the cell phone to talk to you guys. So I cannot show that. Basically, it's like square stones, more or less 10-inch long. That they are marble white, and some marble is gray. Nothing particular. And the siding is like 8-inch siding, gray, and the part of the roof exposed to 303 is going to be silver. Well, it's not silver, but gray. Everything's gray, basically.
And the bottom stone is brick. It's 8-inch brick essentially. Yes.
Yeah, it's more like a stone than a brick.
Okay. Like a
Yeah,
cut
those big,
stone.
big tiles made of about 2 feet long. They have 1-inch stones. And they have like darker and lighter and different kind of, basically it's all gray and white on the bottom.
Okay.
Nice stone, very expensive, but it's beautiful.
And the gray from the roof and the siding, like how similar is it? Is it one lighter than the other? Is it the same?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little lighter, of course, yes. Otherwise, it won't look too appealing, But basically, it's neutral. That's my intention. Stay neutral and low key.
Okay. Really wish we had the materials samples so we could kind of.
I
picture
know. I spoke to Chris before, and he told me to email it to Mrs. Cooper, and I actually did. I thought you guys had it. Wow.
All right. Let's open this up to the board for some questions. Sharon, go ahead.
Yes, I'm finding it hard to visualize exactly how it's all going to come together, and it would be hard for me to really pass judgment on it without having some kind of visual to look at.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah, no, I understand. But one thing I did want to just clarify, I believe that you just said, was that the part of the roof that is facing 303 is going to be metal, but the back roof won't be, or is
It's gonna be metal. It's gonna be metal roofing in gray.
the whole roof?
Well, only that one exposes towards 303. The one in the back is not visible. It's gonna be regular shingles.
Oh, okay.
You can only see that one if you go on top of the roof. It's not visible from any angle of the 303 or 340.
Any plans for the doors?
Yes, the doors are gonna put glass doors, of course. Like aluminum gray, more or less. Nothing,
Okay, that's it for me, Chris. Thank you.
Also, the window, they're gonna be replaced, of course. It's gonna be like a metal window in aluminum gray, same color, more or less.
Okay. Joe, any questions?
So he's saying that the storefronts themselves are going to be changed because the doors and the windows are going to be upgraded?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. Can't leave the same window. They're really old and they don't look good.
Any other questions, Joe?
No, I agree with Sharon. Without a visual, I mean, I'm sure
I
it's
know,
gonna
I
look
know.
nice because it's new, but
I wish I
it's hard
took
to
this,
picture how it's gonna come out.
I approached this in a wrong way. There is any way I can bring tomorrow
So,
and leave it at the town?
my feeling here, and I agree with Sharon and Joe, and I don't want to cut Brian off here, but I do think not having the colors, being able to see it, makes it at least a little bit difficult for me as well.
Right.
My preference would be to ask you to come back and make sure we have the material samples so we can review it properly.
Wow. So I have to make another appointment.
Yeah, I think that would be the best course, so we can have the full application. We can know exactly what we're looking at and make the correct decisions.
I understand.
Brian,
Okay.
I mean, anything you would add to that, Brian or Debbie?
No, I mean,
Go ahead, Brian.
I agree with that. I mean, I have some questions on, just clarifying things, but,
Can you maybe if I can turn the other phone on, I could. Sure. You guys have a little bit of patience to wait, or?
No, we've got a pretty full schedule, and doing it that way is really hard to get the right tone through the cell phone. It really would be better to get the files. So.
Okay. All right. So basically, we have to meet again.
Right. So what I would suggest to you at this point is to request from the board a continuance, and then reach out to Cheryl to reschedule for the next one. So you have to actually ask for the continuance.
A continuance. I will. Okay. Well, thank you so much for your help.
Say it now. Say I'd like to have a continuance.
Okay. So I'd like to have a continuation. I will talk to Sherry.
Perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I'm sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. You're welcome. Have a good evening.
Bye. Good evening.
All right. Our next application is that got postponed. Nice pack. Who we've got here tonight
Hi,
for that?
yeah. Hi, Sarah Dursa. Hi. Am I able to share my screen or?
You're welcome to, and make your presenter.
Okay. And Eric Heyer from our office is on the call as well.
There you go. You should have the presenter ability now.
Okay. Can you guys see?
Thank you.
Okay. So this is for a facade renovation at the Nice Pack headquarters. For reference, it is located on Nice Pack Lane off of Greenbush, and 303 is right here. This is the area where we're proposing to do work just in this front corner. This is going to be part of a larger renovation project, but this is what we have in our exterior permit application. So some existing photos of the site right now. You can see this is the main entrance. It's pretty dark. There's a vestibule that projects from the building, which you can see a little bit better in the next shot. These rounded brick areas that are totally solid, and this big overhang right here with plantings that kind of cover a lot of the space you can't see in very well. So our proposal, here's another shot of the entrance with this dark vestibule that we're proposing to remove. Our proposal is to remove the existing curtain wall and vestibule and to demolish approximately 8 feet on either side of the existing brick in order to create a wider opening, bring more glass in, and allow for a more welcoming and open approach to the building that will showcase some of the work that's happening in the lobby. Also, as part of this, we're introducing 2 new slot windows in the solid brick portions to bring more natural light into the space and open that up as well. We're not introducing any new building materials. This will be a Starfire low E curtain wall. with black mullions to match what's on the rest of the exterior of the building. There'll be a revolving door as well and a new ADA side door. And then there will be a little bit of brick that we have to add to straighten out a set will match the existing. Everything else is going to stay the same. Sorry. So this is just showing the demo that's going to happen, removing the vestibule, both exterior and interior doors in this portion of the wall, and then bringing it out from the building and straightening it out. There'll be a little bit of site work to happen as well there. Overall elevations of the building, you can see it's really just a small portion where we're doing this work. The rest of it is kind of the larger manufacturing area. So this is just really just addressing the public visitation. Elevation of the curtain wall with a revolving door. It's pretty straightforward, very simple. These are elevations showing those new windows in the brick. This one right here, so everywhere there'll be clear glass, except for the window that is on this side, because that's where the stairs are right now. So there'll be a piece of spandrel glass below and there'll be clear glass above. Additionally, and beyond just the building renovations, we have some landscaping that we're doing as well. So you can see kind of how the existing landscape really covers over the front of the building, and you can't see into the space much. It's not terribly attractive. Another shot there. So our plan is to introduce a lot more low plantings and ground cover in the center area here. Some low shrubs that will complement a new sculpture that will be going there as well, that I've got some images of that I think you've seen in the package. So this will be a much lower area here, and then building up a little bit to the building with some ornamental grasses and smaller trees back towards the front, nowhere near as tall as what is there right now. This is an image of the sculpture that's been commissioned, and the plantings around, kind of just generic in this view. And then you can see how that sits in front of the building, and everything is much more open and welcoming. So that's it. That's what we have. It's nothing too expensive.
Okay. Sculpture made out of copper, will it weather, or is it going to stay that color the whole time?
It's bronze.
Okay.
So.
All right. Looks pretty good. Sharon, any questions?
No, I think it looks nice.
Joe, any questions?
No, I agree. Looks nice.
Brian, any questions?
Same. Looks great. Big improvement, for sure.
And Debbie, any questions?
No, I'm all in.
I think it as well looks quite nice. Really like it.
Yeah.
All right, let me open it up. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this application? Hearing none, seeing none, public portion is closed. I make a motion to approve this plan as submitted. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
And Sharon second, and we'll do a roll call vote. Myself, yes. Sharon?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
And Debbie?
Yes.
All right. Guys, we're all set. Looks great. Good luck. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
For the review. Appreciate it a lot.
All right. Up next, we've got Henry Kaufman Campground and the pedestrian bridge plan. Mr. Brunner, I think you're up.
That's correct. This project was done by necessity. you had looked at the internal drawings which were given, the children used to go across from one side to the other, from one section of the camp to the other section of the camp over a spillway of a dam which was built in 1958. During serious rainstorms, that area is completely inundated with water. So what they propose to do is to build a bridge above the floodplain area, which is shown, which will then make it safe so you can go from one side of the camp to the other side of the camp. It is located in a heavily wooded area, as you can see if you visited the site, and it is a steel bridge.
Anything else you want to add there before?
Is the engineer here? He was supposed to be with us. Yeah, Justin, you're here. You want to Justin, you want to open up your
microphone?
Justin, open up your microphone. Open up your microphone.
I got it.
Almost had, here you got it. Okay,
Justin,
I'm good.
Yeah, you're in.
All right. So the submission included a color photo of similar kind of bridge.
Go ahead, Justin.
So the color is similar to what's presented in the picture, as well as the the modular concrete blocks that we picked. It's the same color as what you see. It's in the foreground to the right. The material is the bridge material is made out of a steel alloy that's called corten steel, and it's allowed to rust naturally. And what happens is that the rust will form a coating that prevent the steel from further rusting. So there's no need to maintain by painting over the years. So that's the material of the bridge, and the color will be just like what is presented on the picture. And the blocks, if you turn to the pages to the back, the manufacturer that we picked is Keystone, and the color is gray. And I guess the other thing that has to do with color is the abutments, which is made out of precast concrete, and that will paint it to match the block. So it'll be like gray color, similar to those modular block walls.
So for the Keystone blocks, it's the antique gray is the one you're going to use, and then you're going to paint the concrete to match that antique gray as close as you can.
Correct.
Okay. And the package I got, it's not a color photo, but I just want to clarify something. So the initial bridge will not be painted, and it's designed not to be painted. It will naturally form a rust coating that is a reddish brown, and that will be the permanent color. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And the foot area where you're walking on, I can't think of the right word here, the platform of the bridge, is that also going to be the same steel that will naturally form a rust barrier to the brown rust color?
Yes,
or?
that's my understanding. I look at the manufacturer's specs, and that's the only kind of steel that you're using for the entire bridge.
Okay. All right. I'll open up the questions from the board. Sharon, any questions?
I had a question in regard to coloring versus the color of all of the other bridges in the park right now, which is like a bright green. I realize that they were done a long time ago, probably totally different materials and stuff like that, but I was just wondering if that was taken into consideration at all when you were choosing what you wanted to do for this bridge?
Well, I didn't start this project. I picked it up halfway. So when I continue with the project, and when I questioned about the before we make the ACABOR application, I questioned about the material was made out of, and that's what I found out. And turned out that this is the a better way of for maintenance. I I have no knowledge of what other color of the bridges on for the rest of the site. That I don't know. But this is widely accepted. It's a fairly a new kind of material, and it's attractive because it's basically maintenance free, and I think it's good for the environment. You don't have to paint it, and pollute the water, which is like running underneath the bridge. So that's a good thing, and also the cost too of maintaining it. I mean, the only thing that the owner needs to do is try not to use salt anywhere near the bridge, and that's it. I mean, other natural elements like rain, fog, ice, snow, no problem.
Okay. I do think the rendering is attractive.
I'm sorry, say again?
I do think that the rendering is attractive. I think it looks good.
Yes, that's what we ask for a sample, and this is what we get from the manufacturer.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you.
Thanks, Sharon.
Thank you.
Joe, any questions?
No, thank you.
Brian, any questions? You're on mute, Brian.
No, I'm surprised that the deck is the Corten steel. I wouldn't have thought that was the case, but rocking on the rust. I don't think that. I think you can walk the Corten off. Take the protective coat off. So, but even if it wasn't, I would have expected that deck to be a galvanized deck, actually. But
I agree with you, Brian. I'm not too sure it's Corten. I'm not.
There's no way. It doesn't quite look like it. If this was a color photo, you'd probably see it as. Anyway, that's okay though. That's no. I think Corten's a good material. It is an environmental material, and it is attractive. So I don't have any. I don't really have any objections to any of this. I like these kinds of bridges.
All right, thanks, Brian. Debbie, any questions?
No, I like it. I like it.
All right. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak on this application? Hearing none, seeing none, public portion is closed. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to because we're not sure what the deck is going to be, whether it's the or the galvanized. We're going to say I'm going to suggest that we give you the option. It doesn't matter which. Anybody on the board object to that? So do I have a motion to accept this application, giving the applicant the option of deck material to be galvanized or the same material as the bridge?
I'll make the motion.
And do we have a second? I'll make a second.
I'll second it. I'll second it.
All right, Debbie can have it. And then we'll do a quick roll call vote. Myself, yes. Sharon?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Debbie?
Yeah.
All right, you guys are all set. Nice looking bridge. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Final application for the evening. Thanks, Rockland Homes for Heroes application. Again, Mr. Brenner, and I believe you guys are up. Tell us a little bit about the project.
Yeah. I have with Ken DeGennaro, who is the engineer on the project, John Murphy, who owns the project, and the architect is Tony Grizzo from Ives Architects. I've known correct. We've been before the planning board, we've gotten our approvals. We've been before the zoning board, we've gotten our approvals. And today to show you what we're doing with those old structures, which were built many, many years ago when the Army was there servicing the Nike site. I think you've seen the drawings. They're very attractive. If the architect would like to weigh in right now and explain the project, I would appreciate it. Tony, can you do that?
Certainly, yeah. Hi, I'm Tony Coage from Ives Architecture. I'm sure you're all aware of the buildings. They're arranged. I don't know, can I share my screen? Would that be possible? Yeah.
One second. There you go. You should be able to now.
Thank you. Okay, so this screen here, this is the site. You all know it well. The phase 1 was built directly adjacent to Western Highway and Independence Ave. And there's 3 tiers on the site. The phase 2 development is in the middle tier, which is slightly lower from the road and almost completely not visible from the road. And then there's a lower tier that is for future development, and then the green infrastructure project that's behind it. Mr. Berner was correct. There's 3 buildings that were built approximately 57 to 59. They're very low profile, only about 10 feet tall. And that is their location, next to the Tapan Fire District. So there's the road, Bogart Place, that comes off and comes down the middle of our site. We're keeping these buildings for both practical and sentimental reasons. They're very well built. They were built by the Army Corps of Engineers. The concrete has no asbestos in it. And the exterior envelopes are extremely stable. The slab is completely flat, level. We had Brooker Engineering do a structural analysis of the structures, and they are static, stable, and capable of a much longer life. So what the purpose of the project is for housing homeless veterans. I'm a veteran myself, so I took this project near and dear. And what I came up with from the standpoint of trying to make a very attractive outdoor living area and approach, but yet, how do you make a very, very long building look, differentiated and articulated? So what we're doing is we have to replace the roofs. they're no good anymore. We're doing a new undulating roof line that extends out, sort of like a little bit like a sawtooth, but not really. And then each of the entries is bifurcated by a little wing wall in between each one, and then there is some decorative wood ribbing around in between each unit. The entire field of cover is proposed to be a fiber cement rain screen system. It has great thermal qualities, and it also keeps the walls from collecting moisture, but also it's great all around. It's very sturdy and protective. I'm sorry I didn't have samples, but I did include in the package the page from the brochure. But it's half-inch thick fiber cement. It's a gray cement style looking element, and there's reveal lines, and they're approximately 16 inches by 5 feet long. The wing walls will be a natural wood material. It's also fiber cement. Looks just like wood, and actually has grain that you can feel and touch. And then the ribbing material is it's really kind of fun. It's recycled wood with resin. It's actually hollow. I don't know if you can see this on the screen. And it has a thing that just snaps right into it, and they go right in. It's a really fun material. It's a progressive look, but yet it has a homey feel with warm wood tones. And the doors, I'm using a 1930s color by PPG called Cherokee Red to paint all the doors. and each unit will have a picture window with a casement, and there's a transom and a side light at each door. The back of the units will have the back of the buildings. If I go to the next page, the back of the buildings will have, there's no pedestrian traffic behind the buildings. The buildings are not visible from the street. There will be windows and possibly a condensing unit behind each unit for their HVAC systems. Ken DeGennaro can speak more to other site improvements, but here on the site, we are improving we're adding a cul-de-sac. We've designed it for emergency responders, and we've allowed for snow removal, accumulation, and just some nice greenery. And eventually there'll be some shrubbery added in. But for right now, this is, we're just keeping it clean and simple. So that is pretty much the architecture of the site. I don't know if Ken wants to say anything else about the site improvements.
Sure, this is Ken DeGennaro. I'll just mention a couple of things really quick. The scope of work is really limited to the courtyard area in between the existing buildings that you just saw from Tony's sketch. So in that area, we are proposing some plantings. I think there's 3 shade trees along the new access driveway, in addition to foundation plantings. There will be new street lighting put in along that road, and those are 14-foot high mounted fixtures. We provided the Isolux curves. They will have the shields and the downlighting to prevent light spillage. And there are some bollard lightings proposed too along one of the sidewalks. The only time we're going outside that courtyard area is just to reduce the existing pavement on the site. We're going to be reducing the existing pavement by over 25% because it's not necessary. The landscaping and lighting was on drawing number 7 of the site plans, which should have been part of your package.
I also want to add that there will be lighted sconces at each of the doors as well for site lighting. And those will be 24-hour or dawn to dusk lights.
Okay. Got it. Right. Let me open it up to the board, see if there's any questions. Sharon, any questions?
No, thank you.
Joe, any questions?
No, thank you.
Brian, any questions?
No, looks good. Interesting materials.
And Debbie, any questions?
No, no questions.
I agree. It looks nice. I agree with Brian. You answered my question of the style of buildings that you're trying to kind of keep the older ones there intact. So that's interesting. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just open this up to the public. Is there anybody from the public wishing to speak up about this application? Hearing none and seeing none, public portion is closed. All right. Do we have a motion to approve as presented?
I'll approve as presented.
All right. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right. And Joe seconded. I'll do a quick roll call vote. Myself, yes. Sharon,
Yes.
Joe,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
and Debbie.
Yes.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
guys. Good luck. Real good thing you guys are doing. So, thank you.
John, would you like to say something?
Hold
You
on.
have to open up your,
Unmute yourself, Mr. Murphy. Oh,
open it up, yeah.
there you go.
I want to thank everybody who is helping us end veteran homelessness in the Mid-Hudson Valley. Homelessness leads to suicide. And as you all know, a veteran commits his own life every day of the year. So you're making a contribution to the quality of life for those who served in the armed forces. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, everybody. You're all set. Like I said, good luck. Thank you. And that was our last application for the evening. Do I have a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank
All
you,
right.
everybody. Cheryl, anything before we go?